Hey everyone, welcome to our first YouTube Live. We are just going to go live here, and it's just a fun way to do something different, go over some personal things, things we find or things that I find interesting since I'm running the channel for Kojent. And came across this video of the cost of sports, and it says the rising cost of sports. And we'll watch the video first and I'll stop it. And then we'll also look at the article as well. So let's check this out.
Well, sounding the alarm on youth sports participation.
An article this past week in the Nevada Independent showing Nevada is really suffering in that department.
Yeah, 8 News Now's Daryl Harris going in the community to gauge why the numbers are so low.
I've been watching it steadily drop off for like the last 3-4 years.
By the way, shout out to Silverado. Now he cheers there, and Kako played soccer there. So I'm glad they chose Silverado for this.
Youth sports participation in Nevada is in the danger zone. And by danger zone, I mean the lowest levels in the nation. The U.S. Census Bureau's National Survey of Children's Health revealing 46% of Nevada youth ages 6 to 17 are involved in sports, 10% below the nationwide average of nearly 57%. Why is that?
I've watched fees go up, I've watched parents get disgruntled, and I've also watched neighboring states come in and pick up our kids.
Coach Cyril Franklin Sr. from Silverado High School says he's seen resources from young athletes dry up since the pandemic. In large, it's the price parents have to pay.
They've jacked up the prices to the point where it's all profit for themselves, but at the same time, it's hurting youth sports.
A separate survey.
So obviously, and we're gonna go. They're gonna show the number that they say the cost has gone up, which I'm doing this video because when I first saw it, I thought it was a joke. But I guess if you're applying it to high school, it's true because when Kako was playing for soccer for Silverado, it was right in that price range. And again, we'll go over what they said the dollar amount is. I know that they went to one tournament up in near Reno. I think it was Elko. So they went to a tournament in Elko. You know, the bus driver, I think it wasn't that much. I think it was a couple $100. And that covered the bus ride there and back, the hotel and food. So it really wasn't that bad. And they were gone maybe for the weekend, 2, 3 days. So, and then there's registration fees. So this has to be for high school. But let's see what number they come up with.
Reveals parents are now paying more than $1,000 per child's primary sport, a number that.
So they say $1,016 for the child's primary sport, which anyone that plays in club or plays at a different level knows that this is that can't even cover some of the fees. I mean, it's with MLS Next, there's travel fees. Like I said in a previous video, there's travel fees. We went to Dallas Cup, stayed a week there, so there's hotel and food, and obviously the tournament fees for that. ECNL, we went to North Carolina. MLS Next, we went down to San Diego or Indio, California. And, Caucus played in Florida. Nye is gone for cheer. Not necessarily for high school cheer, but for comp cheer, all-star cheer. We go to Georgia, they go to Florida for Summit, and that's all coming. We're actually getting ready to go to Palm Springs to go to a comp there. So, yeah, I guess this for $1,000 that would cover the high school, but it's a little misleading because there's no way this is cover the cost of all-star or club sports. I know volleyball is really big. They travel a lot. I guess the only one that would be maybe football, because I know football they hire, they recruit out of high school, but even those guys, and we'll go over the numbers, but I'm sure those guys at our top level, they're getting a lot of training. The training is probably not free. Obviously, it's gonna cost something to get a good trainer in there, and that's not only training for your sport, but that's also, you know, uh, going to not calisthenics, but going to the other kind of training, explosive training, weight training, all that stuff, all the agility training that they do. That's all, comes with a cost.
That doesn't fit in the budget for many in the state with the nation's highest unemployment rate. And it's taking a toll on the kids themselves.
They're getting the energy
So I may have missed that, but I don't know if Nevada has the highest unemployment rate, but that's not good.
drained out of them to a degree because, again, lack of resources means that I can't play. And that lack of play means that I get left behind by others that do have the resources. So now you see those kids starting to be faded out of the game.
It's a message echoed throughout the community. Sports radio host JB The Ticket imploring state leaders to step in.
Give these kids an option for health and wealth academically and athletically, and you will continue to see our community rise. The graphs and the numbers don't lie.
And this is a graph that we'll show, but yeah, it's I again, I know I keep going back to soccer, but it's just we were so involved with it for so long that it's just really familiar to me. But soccer is tough too because a lot of the good kids, and the reason why U.S. there's a big debate on why U.S. soccer is not has a hard time competing on the world level, just in terms of the men's. But there's just a lot of kids can't afford the really good kids. They're some of them may not come from the best environment or the best neighborhoods or whatever, don't have the money. And so, and if you look at a lot of these clubs, especially in Las Vegas with MLS Next, the two clubs that have, well, I guess three now with downtown, but only the big clubs get that kind of, because MLS Next, I don't know about MLS Next, but I know for ECNL, they require a certain amount of club structure. They want you to have so many. Again, I don't know the specifics, but they want you to have a structure involved where you can support playing in that higher level. ECNL or MLS Next. So a lot of the smaller clubs or the independent clubs that have really good teams and really good players, because they don't charge as many fees, they can attract the better players. And because there's not many fees, everyone wants to go there, right? Everyone wants to go and play for that team. They win, they do well, and it's not really that expensive. And a lot of times they get sponsorships to cover cost of travel. So that is where, it's just, yeah, they need to have better access. And, clubs do have what they call scholarships, right? Where they give out free or lower cost for certain athletes that are not in a financial place to pay the full amount. They give scholarships, they call it. But even then, that's few and far between. Um, I can say a lot about the clubs. I'm still friends with a lot of them, so I don't really want to say too much. But the clubs, it's a business. I'll just put it that way. It's a business. They're not there. They're there to promote development, but let's be honest. They're also there to make money. So uh, take from that what you will.
And we need to do better.
Daryl Harris, 8 News Now.
So as for young players leaving Nevada to play elsewhere, Coach Franklin says what's happening with the transfer portal in the NCAA is also happening at the high school level as well.
So that's a big thing. Again, I keep going back to soccer, but that's a big thing with soccer is because for the transfer portal, with men's soccer, the problem is a lot of these good guys are coming in from Europe, right? So, in fact, on Kahaku, when he was training, when he was younger, I don't know, these guys that are playing for UNLV, I mean, these guys were like on the German national team or a candidate for the German national team. I don't know. I don't know his exact, what he was, but he was high up there. And so he came in, he played at UNLV. So a lot of these, and I just read an article where someone from one of the top players in Europe is coming to play in Ohio at a university in Ohio. So, that's where the transfer portal, they're bringing in, as far as soccer goes, but they're bringing in people from all over, and you can apply that to the States, right? They're bringing in people where they can recruit, right? They can recruit and bring in people like Bishop Gorman. They can bring in they can afford to bring in the top talent from anywhere, and make sure that they get schooling and academics and housing and all that stuff. So it's something else. So let's actually look at the article here. So again, youth sports. I'll zoom this in. Youth sports participation in Nevada is in a danger zone. They talked about that. Here is the graph. Oh no, that's a. So it says the share of children, Nation 17 reporting sports team taking sports lessons after school or on weekends. Wow. Again, it is expensive. If you're talking about or taking sports lessons after school or on weekends, after school is one thing, but if it's on weekends, most likely it's going to be a club activity. So that's going to cost you. Okay. So here's the graph that I wanted to show you. And so it shows 2019, 2022, and 2024. It says the total cost. Okay, so team registration. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Okay, so team registrations for the blue is 2024. Team registration is 197. I'd say that's about correct, especially on the high school level. But again, this is no way indicative of playing club. Equipment is in uniforms, 165. Travel and lodging, 278, which again kind of fits right in with the one tournament that Kaku did while he was at Silverado, out of state. If Silverado had gone to the championship, I'm sure they would have gone up to Reno, but that didn't happen. Lessons and instruction, 183. And again, that also includes not just the certain sport training, but also uh, again the agility, weightlifting, strength and conditioning coaches. If you want to get to that next level, that's something that you're going to have to incorporate. And even like soccer is Kaku's position is he's a goalkeeper, so they do they're a field player, but they're also do a second job, obviously, as goalkeeping. And so we did a lot of training with goalkeeping. Obviously, that's 3 or 4 times a week. We did a lot of with his footwork because it was important. We were told that he's good with his feet, right? And left foot, he's good with distribution. Yes, he gets it to feet, his side volleys. So he worked a lot on his distribution as well, and that paid off. That helped to get recruited. And so even like baseball, right? If you baseball is two sports. That's what I tell people. It's your either to work on defense, but the main thing is you probably need to work on your hitting, right? Because if you can hit, you'll most likely play. And so that's something where you gotta have to constant practice, and you also have to work on your defensive skills too. So you may have a trainer for that. Catchers, I know, have special training. Pitchers obviously have really special training. Okay, so other camps are athlete schools. Okay, yeah, they go to camps and whatnot. Yeah, that's about $140, 148. Other expenses. So again, the total cost they're saying for 2024 is 1,016. And again, that's that again that's right for high school, but is in no way indicative of a club level activity. So I wish that clubs can help more kids, but obviously, you know, if clubs and coaches are bringing their expertise and bringing their time and their training and their knowledge and they're going to games and they're traveling, yeah, obviously they need to be compensated. I'm not saying that's not true, but it's true. We just need to find a way to you know f- get a better system here and get more kids, in my opinion anyway, participating in sports because it's a good way to show bring out that competitive spirit in the kids and build teamwork and work ethic. But anyway, this is just our first live. We're just spitballing here, just going over things that random things that I come out on and see online. So if you have any interesting things you want to talk about, let me know. And we're also trying to work out our new live streaming software. So forgive me for maybe not being as proficient in it, but we're trying, we're getting going. So uh, hope all is well, and thank you again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys next